Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Danielle, aka Stitcherista here on YouTube, and today is Tuesday, February 8th. It's time for another update. No work again today. Like I said, I'm not complaining. I mean, we had one job last week. We're only on the calendar one day this week so far. I'm just trying to enjoy it because next week we're on the calendar Monday through Thursday. 2 of those days are true dailies where it is due like that night, so going to be busy next week. So I did stitch yesterday. I'm continuing to work on the Primrose Cottage stitches Be Mine. Now, you know me, I can never just let things lie. I can never just let things be how they are. I have gone back and forth with whether to do 1 strand of DMC on 18 count or 2 strands. I would say 90% of people that are stitchers, they do 2 strands. And I have done that thus far on this piece. Now, yesterday, I'm going to show you, I stitched one of the hearts today before I did this video in 1 strand. I want to show you the comparison and what I think I'm going to do going forward. I always want my stitching, I want it to look neat. It is just one of my little quirks. And I'm not alone, because when I look at my Facebook groups for stitching, there are a ton of people that share the same sentiment. How do I get my stitches to look neater? This doesn't look right, blah, 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 blah. And what prompted me to do this today was there was somebody on one of the boards that said, show me your examples of stitching 1/1 on 18 count. Now, some people didn't follow directions when they commented, because they would say, oh, I stitched 2 strands, here's my example. She don't want to see that. She wants to see 1/1. Okay. I'm going to try to get really close. Let me hold something behind it. Trying to find something right here. Okay. There we go. This heart I stitched yesterday 2 strands of DMC. I mean, it looks okay, but when I look at it up close, it looks bulky. It looks bulky and messy. Now, this heart is done 1 strand. Now, you can see, I'm trying to like not keep jostling it. You can see the fabric through it a little bit, but doesn't it look so much neater and delicate? I absolutely loved the way this looked. I like, partially, that you can actually see the X's. I mean, it is cross stitch. Yeah. And when I look at it, like me looking at it, not in the viewfinder, I absolutely love it. So I'm going to stitch. The only part I have left on this little stamp is this is like, there's a square here that says B and it's solidly stitched. I am going to stitch that with 1 strand. I don't care that the rest of it was done in 2 strands. That will be a journal entry I'll be able to make. I was considering starting this over, but I'm like, fuck no, I've gotten way too far on it. So, but yeah, so I think I'm going to do 1 strand. I really do. I'm at least going to give it a shot, right? Yeah. And I was sitting here thinking too, I have a project. There was a time where I stitched on 35 count, 40 count linen. Yep. Yeah, about 10 years ago. And I was obsessed with like Little House needlework stuff. So I have this piece. I don't know what the hell the pattern name is called. I want to say it's called Chocolate Vanilla. I mean, it's something like that. But this is 35 count Weeks Dye Works linen. This is the called for linen. It only called for 3 colors of DMC. It's 35 count linen, 1 thread over 2. So in effect, if you divide 35 by 2, it's like 17.5 count. So doing 1 strand on 18 count is going to give you the same effect. And I absolutely loved stitching this project. I remember a little story. I remember when I went in, I met Jill. I'd met Jill and Astrid and Deb at the Stitching Post. And the Stitching Post was packed. They were having a sale. It was in the winter, like this was years ago. And I went in there and I overheard people talking about, the owner of the store is Melinda, and she is one of the most prolific stitchers I've ever met, meaning she gets a lot done. It's because she doesn't really watch TV. She doesn't do anything else but stitch. She's not on social media very much. I mean, she's on Facebook. They have a page, but from what I could garner, and people were just like in awe. And I thought to myself, I overheard someone say, you know, it's not like she has some superpower. She just dedicates her time to stitching. Yeah. There's no superpower. There are people that are retired that have more time. I'm finding that when I sit down to stitch now, if I listen to a podcast, I get more done because I'm not having to constantly look up from my work to the TV screen or the iPad screen. Yeah, just right. But yeah, so this is, like I said, 1/1. No, it's not 1/1. 1/2. So 1 strand of DMC. And it looks fantastic, doesn't it? Don't you just love that frame? I'm so sad that the Stitching Post stopped their framing department because this is where I got it done. They have some fantastic frames there. But yeah, I absolutely love that piece. It looks so good. And not to mention, 1 strand, using 1 strand, it's just so much easier to handle. I'm not having to railroad stitches or use a laying tool or worry about blah, 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 nothing. Yeah. Now, I've had a couple questions, a couple people, so when I show a project, they're like, I see your needle, but what's this long needle? That is a snag nabbit. I have a video in my cross stitch playlist. If you click in the description box below on my link tree, I have a cross stitch playlist where I have my tutorials. I think it's there. I'm going to have to look. If you have like a thread that maybe you want to look a little bit neater, if you stick this through, this side is like nubby and this side is pointy like a needle. If you stick it through, when you pull it through, this will catch the thread and pull it to the back. It is a fantastic tool. And I bought a whole set of them on Amazon. It's all different sizes. So if I remember, I'll link that in the description box. So, but yeah, I think this is coming along very well, and I'm almost done. I'm going to stitch more today because it's only like 1:40. So, and I'll have until about dinner time to stitch today. So, yeah. And I didn't stitch last night because I stitched during the day. When it was bedtime, I went in my room, and I actually been working on Sudoku. Love those, the number things. I have a whole big book of it. So I've been doing them. And I started watching FlossTube again. I've been trying to watch somebody different every night to get some new people. And thank you so much, though, to the person who recommended Darling Whimsy and Fuzzy Fox Designs on Etsy for small patterns, because I looked at those stores and absolutely love them. So if you guys have any suggestions, please give me for small patterns. I mean, I have like 40 items in my Etsy cart. Yeah, for patterns. And one of them, Tiny Modernist. Now, I know we've all heard of her, and I am in love with her mouse series. I haven't stitched any of them. I have the Halloween stitching one, and I've seen a lot of people stitch this one. So this is what I want to show you. This is the one, Mouse's Love Letter. Isn't it so cute? And it only works out, on 18 count, it only works out to like a little over 3x3. So perfect for the journaling, right? But I didn't realize she had all these mouse patterns out there. Look at this one. This is Mouse's Schoolhouse, and I just about died. The mouse, look at the little pointer she has. She's teaching class. I love this one. I love that red. I don't know what red that thread is, but I love it. And then this one, I about died. That when they wear the hats, I can't. This is Mouse's Easter bonnet. The mouse, look at the hat the mouse is wearing. I cannot with that. Now, if I stitch this one for Easter, it would be great for the book, for the journal. I think I would not stitch the word farmhouse eggs on the basket. Just have the basket be a basket, right? But you can do what you want. That's the great thing about it. And then they have a Christmas one, Mouse's Christmas decorating, which Mouse looks like Mrs. Claus. I love that border with the berries and everything. Yeah, why have I not stitched these? These are way too cute. Absolutely love those. And speaking of stitching too, my favorite scissors. So I love these rainbow thread cutters. This is what I use, and I have like 2 extra pairs. I've gotten mine, 123 Stitch has them. Store in Alexandria, In Stitches, that's where I bought like 3 or 4 pairs all at once. But yeah, they're fantastic. And what I like about them is that they have this plastic cover that comes off, so when you put them like in your stitching bag, they're protected without having to have like a scissor sheath. And then, you know, I used to put my, I was putting my bobbins in that plastic box that Lacey gave me. But if you remember, one of my subscribers, and I'm so sorry, I can't remember who it was, gave me this. And this person is on Etsy, whoever made this, but look at it. It's like coffee and stuff. But look at it. It will hold, you put your bobbins in here, and then you can put, I have my seam ripper and my scissors. Absolutely love this. So I'm going to start using this now because it'll lay nice and flat. And what I started to do when I pull the strand, like, okay, I'm going to stitch this color 602. I pull the strand off and I pull one out, and instead of just throwing the rest of it there, I decided to put it in that hole, and then I can just pull one strand out at a time. Why have I not done that before? Don't know. It makes it much neater. I'm all about like having my stitching area neat too. I'm really like, I just want it neat. Yeah. Now, the only thing I would have changed on this is to have, instead of a tie, because it ties closed, to have either a Velcro enclosure or a magnet or a snap or something. But I'm guessing that person didn't do it because when you, if you would fill this with bobbins, which I'll never stitch with that many colors, I don't think, it would probably get pretty bulky and you probably wouldn't be able to snap it closed. I'm guessing that's why they did that. But this is really, really well made. Is there a tag on there? No, there isn't a tag that says the designer. I know they're on Etsy though. I know they are. I just don't know who they are. I don't remember. It was in a, I did a Christmas gifts video a while ago. I'm sorry, I don't remember. Okay. And okay, so stitching with white. A bunch of you commented and some of you in private messaged me, so I'm very glad. A lot of you said that Teresa Little Stitcher did a video where she compared different white, and the best white that she found was DMC Floche. So I actually order them in hanks. It doesn't come in skeins. So on Etsy, I actually ordered a white and a black. So we're going to see. Yeah, I'm going to try it out. And that was all I had for my talking points. Not too much happening. And then we are going to do a inspirational story today, and it's called The Secret of Growing Good Corn. Okay. There was once a farmer who grew award-winning corn. Each year he entered his corn in a state fair where it won a blue ribbon. One year, a newspaper reporter interviewed him and learned something interesting about how he grew it. The reporter discovered that the farmer shared his award-winning corn seeds with his neighbors. How can you afford to share your best seed corn with your neighbors when they are entering corn in competition with yours each year? The reporter said. Good question, right? Why, sir, said the farmer, didn't you know? The wind picks up pollen from the ripening corn and swirls it from field to field. If my neighbors grow inferior corn, cross-pollination will steadily degrade the quality of my corn. If I am to grow good corn, I must help my neighbors grow good corn. Didn't think of it that way, right? So he is very much aware of the connectedness of life. His corn cannot improve unless his neighbor's corn also improves. And so it is with our lives. Those who choose to live in peace must help their neighbors to live in peace. Those who choose to live well must help others to live well, for the value of a life is measured by the lives it touches. And those who choose to be happy must help others to find happiness, for the welfare of each is bound up with the welfare of all. So here is the lesson for each of us. If we are to grow good corn, we must help our neighbors grow good corn. It is possible to give away and become richer. It is also possible to hold on too tightly and lose everything. Yes, the generous man shall be rich. By watering others, he waters himself. And I just absolutely, I glanced over the story so I knew kind of what the moral was. But I absolutely loved it because I think a lot of times it is very easy, if we find something amazing or find a technique that's great, to want to hold it close to our chest. But I'm of the mindset, like anything I find cool for stitching or diamond painting, especially stitching, because man, is there just a wealth of information out there. I really try to pass it on to you guys because I want you to also enjoy your stitching. And, you know, there are people that have asked me, how do you record? How do you make the videos? I have shared everything I've ever done, meaning the tripod and how I do it. I'm not going to hold that and not tell people. Why would I not help someone record, right? Why would I not help someone maybe to produce a better video? However, I can't help you be genuine. That's something you have to do for yourself. And that is my biggest piece of advice when someone says, how do I start a channel? You have to love it. You have to love talking what you're talking about. Don't come into it for the money. When I started my channel and I had, I don't know, when I reached, I think 10,000 subscribers, my sister was like, oh, I want to start a channel. And even my stepdaughter and her boyfriend were like, oh, we should start a channel. And I'm like, it's work. Like, you really have to love it. You really have to love what you're talking about and sharing with people. It is a part-time job. I mean, I do a video 6 days a week. So even for those that do a video once a week, it's work. It's work to find topics, set it up, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's not just like you can flip on the camera and just do it. You just, and that's something I can't teach. I can't teach that. But yeah, don't be stingy. Like, share, you know what I mean? Okay, so how are we going to continue to unfuck ourselves in 2022? And someone said they like when I tear it off like that they die laughing. So now, of course, you know I have to do it every video. I have to do it dramatically. That's me. All right. Here's a good one. Motivation without understanding is like a birthday party without people. Okay. Motivation without understanding is like a birthday party without people. So you can't have a birthday party without people at it, right? And so you can't have motivation without understanding. I'm guessing understanding what the motivation is, why you're doing something. Maybe? Okay. I haven't quite found one yet that I want to put in my journal or to save it. The one that I should have saved, and obviously I didn't, was the one that said, live like you're dying because you are. Because we are. Every single second we're hurtling, you know, towards our death at some point. But let's not be morose, right? No. Okay. I'm going to end this here. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic Tuesday. As always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.